Lovely to see so many of you on Zoom and also on Facebook Live. So this is going to be a nice gentle class, 45 minutes. I'll give you options to make it a little bit more challenging, but hopefully I want you to feel kind of nice and relaxed and stretched at the end of the session and not in any pain. So listen to your body and don't do anything that causes any pain. Don't push through pain. This should all be a little bit warming and challenging, but nothing impossible. So with that in mind, let's get started for our warm-up. So shoulders really, really key for most of us, and it's where we hold most of our tension. So I don't know if you particularly kind of look at the way your shoulders sit, or when you go past a mirror, if you see how your posture is and your shoulders, whether they're forward or back, they tend to be quite forward, especially for a lot of us that have been working at home in the last year, even more so I think than normal. So I'm just going to focus a little bit on shoulders and neck today. Okay, so we're going to just relax the arms, just give them a shake. Shake the hands, shake the arms, shake out any stress. And then we're going to do a few shoulder rolls. So we're just going to rest the hands either down on the floor or just rest the hands on the knees. And then we're just going to lift the shoulders up towards the ears. Try and keep the neck nice and long and relaxed. Okay, so we're just going to lift the shoulders up, squeeze them back behind, and then roll them back to where they started. Do this really slowly. Just makes you kind of really aware of any areas that you might skip or try and avoid. Crunchiness, you might be able to hear if you have a nice silent room that you're doing this class in. So let's do a couple more, just nice slow long shoulder rolls, just to really activate the muscles around the shoulders. And then for the last two, instead of circles, we're just going to squeeze the shoulders up to the ears. Try and touch the earlobes as much as you can. Really tense, 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 and then exhale and let go. One more of those. Squeeze as tight as you can. Big inhale and then exhale, let go. Oh, I already feel so much more relaxed. Okay, just one little shoulder roll there. Now we're going to warm up. We're going to take the arms side to side. So we're going to bring one hand to the floor to support and then reach the other arm over. Now I really want you to move through this slowly. So you're just going to change sides a bit like a seesaw. But the main thing I want you to think about is keeping your belly relaxed, keeping your hips relaxed so they both stay on the floor and they're not lifting up as you're rocking. And keeping the ribs relaxed as well. So just thinking side to side stretch. Good, one more here. And we're going to make it a bit more interesting. We're going to take this hand forward and we're going to go back on a bit of a diagonal now. Don't worry about what you look like. You can just laugh at me. Okay, so inhaling, exhaling. I really enjoy this stretch. Take the hands up as high as you can to the ceiling. And reach them back and just really get some movement into those ribs. They do get quite tight. Okay, let's take it the other way now. So we're going to bring the other hand forward on a diagonal, reaching it up and back. Perfect. I can see lots of arms moving around. Good. It should feel quite nice and freeing, even if you do nothing else today. This is probably pretty good for us. Okay, now because we've freed up the ribs a little bit, we're just going to have a bit of a twist, but a dynamic twist as we're seated in this position. So we're going to let the arms go and then just let them feel really heavy as they swing from side to side. So you can start off small and then maybe go a little bit bigger. Make sure those hands and arms are relaxed. This is probably looking at this going, is this Pilates? What is this? It's warming up. We're warming up the body. Good. You might get a little crack sound at some point. That is just the fluid in the joints generally and nothing too sinister. So we're just moving the joints and creating some space. Good. And then come back to center. Okay, now we're going to do some neck rolls. As I said, neck and shoulders, an area of tension for most people. So we're just going to drop the head down really slowly. See where you get to. Chin towards the chest. And then just bring the head up really slowly again. Now as you take it back, just look up at the ceiling. One more time, forward and back. Again, as I said earlier, just move really slowly. No forcing any of these movements. Only go as far as your body will let you. And then we're going to do some rolling movements with the head now. So we're going to take the head down, over to the left, through the center. First one, do it really slowly. Don't want to create any surprise for the neck and the neck muscles. So then go the other way. So this isn't probably a movement that we do very often. And our bodies are probably freaking out a little bit now, saying, what are we doing? But I remember doing these when I was at school very many years ago, probably less than 10 years old. We used to do these in our assemblies in the morning. And actually, they are really good. But we kind of get out of the habit of moving our heads and stretching our necks. So just one more. And then come back to center. Okay, I'm a little bit warmer now, so I'm going to take this off. And then we're going to go into a little bit more movement now. So we're going to move back onto our mat, onto all fours. So let the feet relax behind you. Bring the hands under the shoulders, the knees under the hips. Try and keep the hips level as much as you can. And then we're going to exhale and just round spine. Let the head go, give it a shake. Tuck the pelvis under, push up into the upper back, and then inhale. Arch the back, drop the belly down, lift the tailbone. Squeeze the shoulder blades behind you. They should be nice and free now. One more time each way. Exhale. And inhale. And then back to somewhere in between those two positions. So lightly bracing the belly, lifting the belly in and up. This is where we have to think about our hip position. So keep the hands where they are. Take the front leg up, bend at the knee. And then we're just going to take the leg out to the side. This is the slow version. We're going to go faster in a minute and then back down. So I'm going to do that one more time on this front leg so you can see it. So I'm going to take it up, out to the side, and down. Let's try 2 on the other leg. So lift up 90 degrees, out to the side, and down. One more. Lift, out, and down. Now we're going to alternate. Lift, out, and down. Lift up, take the knee to the side, and down. A couple more each side. Lift, side, down. Lift, side, down. One more each side. We're almost there. So you should be feeling this in your core, in your glutes, perhaps your hips. Now we're going to take that front leg back up into the same position. I'm just going to move my hands a little bit to make myself more comfortable. And then we're going to pulse up and down. Small pulse, tiny range. Try and keep the hips level, belly in and up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Change over. Find a position. Feeling strong. Pulse 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees come a little bit wider, feet come together, and just push back and just have a little stretch in our child's pose. Big inhale, and exhale, sink down. One more inhale. Exhale, sink down. Okay, we're going to come around onto our backs now for the real work. Okay, so just hug your knees in, roll yourself back. Hug the knees in as much as you can. Try and bring each knee towards the same shoulder, but try and keep your tailbone down as much as you can. Okay, one leg at a time comes back to the floor. Just rock the pelvis gently, issues or niggly kind of feelings going on in the low back. And then we're going to take the feet out as wide as the mat, arms out in line with the shoulders. And then we're just going to drop the knees over, a bit like windshield wipers. So the feet stay where they are, and you're just going to drop your knees to one side and then the other. So you might feel this stretch through the bottom of the stomach area, depending on how low your knees go. It should just feel like a nice movement. You might just check in with your body to see if one side feels tighter than the other. And if it does, maybe stay there a couple of seconds longer. On this last one, I'm going to stay on this side because it's a little bit tighter. 3, 2, 1, and back. Okay, then we're going to bring our feet and our knees together. Similar thing, level 1 with the feet on the floor. So we're going to take our legs over to one side. Enjoy that stretch. And then exhale to pull them back. So you're really using your abdominal muscles now to move the legs. So it's not the leg muscles. Then we take it over other way. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, pull rib down first. Rib to mat, lead the legs. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, take those legs to tabletop. Over we go. Inhale. Exhale, pull back. That's definitely a lot more challenging. Feels like a sharp knife in the ribs in a pleasant way. And then back to center. So we're going to do 2 more each side. Whichever version you want to do with your feet down or your feet lifted in tabletop. Both of these are effective. Just choose the level that suits you. Keep pushing down into your arms as well. That's going to really help your shoulder stability and strength. Almost there. Remember to use your exhale. Every time you exhale, you're pulling your abdominals into the center of the body. And that contraction is going to help strengthen all around the core. Feet slowly come back down if they were lifted. So all around the core muscles here, it's like a very wide belt around your body, front and back. And these are the muscles that really keep us strong and protected. So we want to work them quite a bit in Pilates. Okay, so we're going to take our hands now behind our head, interlace fingers, take the shoulders to the floor and the elbows nice and wide. Relax the legs, take a breath in. And then as you exhale, activate those muscles, reduce the distance between the bottom rib and the top of the hip. Hold here. Inhale, exhale down. You hear that shaking in my voice, can't you? Let's go again. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale while you're there. Exhale down. Slowest crunches ever. 4 more. Lift. So try not to tilt the pelvis. Sometimes that happens. Inhale. Try and make sure that the body, the back of the body, below the waist feels the same all the way through the movement. 2 more. Lift. Inhale. Exhale. The more slow and controlled you do this, the stronger you're going to get. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Okay, so this is warming us up for our 100. So we're going to take our arms back, have a little stretch first. So the 100 is exactly the same thing, exactly the same exercises that we're using to keep our head lifted. So if at any point you're here, lifting your head up on your shoulders, your neck starts to hurt, just put one hand behind your head. That's going to give you that support for your neck and not let your neck take over before your abdominals. Okay, so reaching the hands forwards, feet on the floor for our first version, and we're going to progressively make it harder. Start pumping those arms, inhaling and exhaling. It's all easy breezy right now. Going to get a little bit tougher. Okay, so keep reaching those fingers. Try and touch whatever is on the opposite side of your room. Reach, reach, reach. Tuck chin. Small gap in between chin and chest, looking towards your knees or lower. Keep breathing. Inhaling and exhaling. Okay, one leg is going to come up for a little bit more of a challenge. Lower abdominals kick in. And then I'm going to go for the 2-leg version. Keep the arms going, whatever you're doing. Keep breathing. Keep smiling. Inhale and exhale. In with the air and out with the air. Keep those arms going. I can see some stopping. Keep them going fast. Excellent. Okay, I'm going to stretch one leg away. You can join in these movements if you want, or just stay where you are, but keep those arms going and then bring it back. Opposite leg reaches, not all the way to the floor. Don't let it cheat. Reach it long. Whose abs are burning? Me. Keep it going and back in. Okay, if you really want to work super hard for the last 3 sets, you can extend both legs, squeeze the toes and the heels together. In 2, 3, 4, 5 and out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhaling and exhaling. Feel the burn. Last set. In 2, 3, 4, 5 and exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly bring the legs in, lower the head down, and you should feel a nice warm sensation in the front of your body, from the bottom of your ribs to your hip bones. So you can just rock the legs back a little bit if you want to, hug them in, and then all this rocking goes with a bit of rolling. So we're going to roll up to seated. And then we're going to go straight into rolling like a ball. So make sure you have padding behind you. I've got my thicker mat today, so I'm all good. But if you have a normal yoga mat, maybe double it over. Make sure you have room behind you to roll. So these abs are super warmed up now. They're going to be really effective in holding us in place. Hug those feet in towards you. Let the spine soften. Round spine is going to roll a lot better than this flat, rigid spine, okay? So just tuck the belly in and draw it in as much as you can. Tuck the pelvis slightly so you're leaning back on your sit bones. Feet come off the floor. Balance if you don't want to roll. If you want to roll, tuck chin. Inhale. Exhale. Ooh, feel those abs. Inhale. Exhale. 4 more. Inhale. Exhale. I'm loving this today. 2 more. Try and keep the same shape all the way through. And don't fling your legs back. I know it's tempting. That's coming up next. Open leg rocker. We're going to try and balance here. Keep those abs drawn in, even if you're just holding. You're going to be feeling it now if you're just holding. Okay, underneath the knees with the hands. Let's extend one leg and down. Straighten it as much as you can. Don't worry if it's not completely straight. 1 more each side. Keep breathing. Keep drawing the belly in and up. And then if you want to, both legs. Again, you could just hold here, or if you want to roll, grab your ankles or whatever you can grab hold of, leggings, trousers, tucked in. Inhale, exhale. Make sure that exhale is coming out. Make it loud. It's really going to help lift you. Let's just do 2 more here. The last one. Okay, on this last one, we're going to hold the legs where they are if you can, even if they're here, doesn't matter. Let the hands come away and we're going to roll our bodies down. Try and keep the legs where they are. I'm pushing you guys, it's quite early on in the class. And then rest the head down. Okay, the legs are going to come straight up to the ceiling. Cross at the ankles. I might be chopping the top of my feet off on the camera, so you might not be able to see that, but I'm taking one leg over the top. Hands coming just around the bottom of our hips. And then we're going to just do that lift up and down. So you're trying to lift your tailbone off the floor and try and get the legs up towards the ceiling. Try and touch the ceiling. If you have a low ceiling, you're probably a little bit better off here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Okay, hug both knees in. Now I'm just going to move myself back because the next move is our 1 leg circle. I need a bit of room. Need to be able to stretch your legs fully out. So pick a leg, whichever one's your favorite. I'm going with the right today. So I'm going to hug it in, stretch the opposite leg away, and flex the foot of the leg that's stretched. Push the heel down to the floor. Make sure your hips are level. Sometimes this leg that you're pulling in will hike up. So just level out the hips first. And then stretch the leg, either fully extend or bend at the knee if you can't fully straighten your leg. So whatever feels good to you. If you have a bent knee, I always forget to say this, but you should not be able to see the bottom part of your leg, the lower part of your leg, because your knee's kind of obscuring it. If it's all the way in your view, means that your leg is turned slightly inwards. So you want to just adjust that first. So I'm going to go with a bent knee version just to show you the proper positioning. So relax the head, shoulders down towards the mat, arms are active, palms flat on the floor. We're going to take that knee out to the side, cross the body and back. Now you notice I'm not stretching or bending through the move. So I'm going to keep it locked as if it's stuck like this. Out on an inhale, exhale back. It's a small move. And then make sure that the foot that's on the floor is still flexed. It has a tendency to have a little rest while we're here, but we want to keep that leg active as well. Both legs are active. The whole body is active. And 1 more in this direction. I love this bent knee version, it's really good. And then we're taking it the other way. So knee across the body first, out to the side and back. 4 to go. Is that opposite foot flexed? Or is it taking a little mini break? I think we have 2 more. And just 1. See, that was easy, wasn't it? Okay, we swap in 1 move. Stretch that opposite leg out along the floor. Try and push every part of your leg down on the floor. You might miss slightly with the back of the knee. That probably won't be touching, but the rest of it will. Hug the knee in, level the hips. Find your position. If you've got your bent knee, you should be able to see your foot. So belly in and up, seat belt on. Let's take it out to the side. Inhale and stop. Go again. Inhale, exhale and stop. Inhale, exhale, stop. Keep the opposite foot flexed. Lots to concentrate on. Close your eyes if you want to and just feel the movement. Closing our eyes just takes 1 sense away. Let's go the other way. And it just makes all the others far more kind of to our mind, really. So I can really feel this when I close my eyes more so than when I open them, because I'm watching. And it's very different. It's a very different sensation. 3 more. I might have added an extra one on there. 2 and 1. Good, just hug the knees in. So I tend to add extra repetitions on some exercises, especially exercises where I say pick your favorite leg first. Mainly because our favorite leg is usually the one that's the stronger, and the second one will be the weaker one, so therefore we need a bit more work on it. Okay, let's bring the feet back to the floor, a little closer to the bottom now. Still in your hip distance though, so not too wide. And let's do some shoulder bridges. So let's just try and lift the heels up first. Test this out while our hips are down on the floor. If this doesn't work for you, what I'm doing now, just lifting both heels, then just leave this part of the next move out, okay? So if it causes any pain in your ankles for any reason, then just hold them still. Okay, so we're going to get ready to come up. We're going to exhale, tilt the pelvis, draw belly in and up. Slowly start to peel the hips off the floor. Push down with the flat of your palms. Upper arms active, and we're in a perfect shoulder bridge. Okay, we're going to hold here for a little while, and we're going to do some heel lifts if you want to. So we're going to do them one at a time. We're going to lift right heel and left, right and left. Now squeeze the hips as you're doing this to try and keep them as level as you can. If you really switch off from the hips, then it's quite easy to kind of do this twisting thing. But we don't want to do that. So not just yet anyway. That's a good mobility movement, but we're trying to build strength. So we want to keep hips really level, pointing up towards the ceiling the whole time and not to the sides. Keep the heels going. Lift and lift, lift and lift. Or just holding here. If you're not doing this, let's do 8, 7, waking up the calves. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Now we're going to slowly roll down on the next available exhale, whenever that is for you. So slowly melt it down. And then rest the tailbone back down. Now, if you did those heel lifts, you probably feel a little bit of activation in the top of your back of your legs and the glutes. That's good. Woken up some muscles there. And then we're going to come up again. So we're going to exhale. Just float the hips up in the air. Okay, now we're going to do our leg flick up and down movement. I can't think of any other way to describe it right now. So we're going to bring one knee into the chest, stretch the leg up, take it down and up. Down to the floor and exhale, bring it up. One more. Down to the floor and back up, bend and replace. Opposite leg comes in, stretch, flick it down and up. Down and up. Try and keep both hips up, down and up, and then bend that knee, place the foot down, both hips up to where they started, and then exhale all the way back down, melting through every section of the spine. Let's bring the knees together, feet together. Let's just take a little side stretch. And back to center, other way. Just breathe and relax in all the stretches. Never hold your breath in the stretch. I'm sure you're not. Okay, back to center. Now I'm just going to shift myself down a little bit because I need a bit of room above the head. So we're going to do elbow slides, which open up the front of the chest and release the shoulders quite a bit. So elbows are coming out to the side. The elbow is bent at 90 degrees at the moment. And you just need a little bit of room around you to slide, stretch up and down in this kind of movement. If you don't have room on the floor, you can do this against the wall. Just make sure your ribs and your back fully stay against the wall rather than kind of arching the mid back away. And the same goes for people on the floor, actually. You still might be tempted to do this kind of mid back arch. Just try and keep the ribs down and relaxed if you can. So imagine you've got a little weight on top of your ribs, and that's just going to remind you to stay down. Okay, whatever happens with the hands doesn't matter so much. Ideally, the back of the hands stay on the floor, but they probably won't all the way through the move. So draw that belly in and up, slide the elbows into your waist, try and keep the 90 degrees all the way through. Inhale, take the elbows up. Exhale down. Inhale. So it's a small move. Again, closing the eyes helps just to feel what's happening. Don't look at your hands or your arms and criticize where you might be or where you might not be. Just feel it. Inhale and exhale. Are those ribs still relaxed? Keep going. 2 more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, stretch. Good, and then just bring the arms back down by the side of you. Now we're going to come into roll up. So if you haven't done it for a while, or if you've never done it, I will show you a modification on the first version. Otherwise, full roll up and roll down for my regulars. Okay, so the modification is going to be reaching the arms out to start for everyone, taking an inhale, and then as you exhale, the arms generally come up to the ceiling. Now, if you're modifying, you're going to just slide the hands towards the thighs. You're going to lift the head, start to bend the knees, and hold the back of the thighs as you roll up, nice and slowly. And then when you get to the top, straighten the legs. Same thing on the way down. So we bend the knees, hold, hold, keep scooping and rounding. And then once most of your spine is down, you can stretch out. Full roll up version, you're going to keep your legs together all the way through the moves. Harder to do that on the modified one. So squeeze those ankles, knees and glutes. If you're doing full roll up, inhale, exhale, reach up. Keep exhaling, flex feet if it helps you. Doesn't always, but it helps me. And then sit up tall. Let's come down the same way we got up there. So draw the belly back, tuck the pelvis. Try and release your spine, one section at a time. The slower you do this, the harder it's going to be, but it will make us stronger. So there's no point in rushing through this because you don't gain any strength from the rushing movements through, okay? It's all about this precision and being really focused on what you want your body to do. And if you go slowly, it just gives you time to understand what your body is capable of and what it might not be yet. So what it might not be yet, you work on, and what it is capable of, you thank it for. It's amazing that we can do this every Thursday in internet world. And we get to stretch and enjoy some body movement. Let's go again one more time. We finish on the up. All the way back up to seated. Okay, now I'm gonna just move position slightly. So coming into saw, and actually, no, I'm gonna stay on the mat because it might look a bit strange if I'm off the mat. So legs are quite wide, about probably a little bit wider than your mat if you're on one. And if you can stretch your legs to get the backs of your legs down onto the floor, great. If you don't have that level of flexibility, just bend the knees a little bit. Hips are the most important part of this move. They stay down the whole way. Arms come out to shoulder height or a little bit lower if you need it. If it's making you do this, then bring the hands down slightly. Okay, so we're going to twist it. It's a bit of a twist and a reach move, but our front arm is going to go past the outside of our foot and our back arm is reaching back behind us. Our head is aiming for the knee. Now I say aiming because we're not all going to get there and it doesn't matter. It's the intention. Okay, so let's start off. Inhale, grow really tall through the spine, lift out of the hips, twist, reach over, one arm back, one arm forward, both hips glued to the floor. You should feel a stretch coming back up and back to where we started. So twist as you exhale, keep exhaling, keep exhaling, keep exhaling, keeping the hips down, keep exhaling even as you come up and then inhale. Finally, they say, okay, twist, reach, 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 keep exhaling. Keep exhaling, keep exhaling, stretch even further, this time you're warmer, and then come back up, inhale. Other side. This one's so nice when you don't have any restrictions and the muscles just let go. One more each side. The more you practice, the further you're going to get, the more free your body will be. One last time. And then back up. Oh, and then we can just relax those shoulders. They're already relaxed because we set them up in the start of the class. Okay, a little bit of side lying. We're at 1 o'clock, so we're all good for time. So side lying, super important, mainly because it really helps our balance, but it also evens out both sides as long as we do the same exercises on both sides. So bring the feet forward, back of the body is lined up with the back of your mat so that you know your spine is straight. Obviously, if you don't see the same distance all the way along the mat, then you know something's not quite right. Okay, so set yourself up, give yourself the best chance, and then you can do some perfect movement. Okay, so squeeze the bottom a little bit, both sides. That will keep your hips stacked and in alignment. Top leg lifts, and we're going to kick forward and back. Easy to start with. So let's create a little bit of space, pushing the foot down that's on the floor. Relaxing this arm or holding it up in the air for more of a balance challenge. You choose, it's your class. 5 more. 4, really try and point the toes. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, then we're going to bring the leg down to the floor, the toes down to the floor even, so the toes are kind of drop down slightly, and that's just going to give us a nice stretch in the hip. We want to keep this space here in the top side waist and then lift and lower. So if you know your hips are staying still, you can release that hand. Just try not to let the rib get closer to the hips. If you don't want to crush, it's going to keep the underneath side waist nice and long as well. Belly's lifted in and up all the way through. Only so much that it's active but not gripping on for dear life. So you want to be able to breathe and relax. Who's starting to feel this in their glutes now? Me. Already, it's already kicking in here because we did that little beginning move with our glutes. We've already pre-warned them that something's going to happen today. I think they're happy about that. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now let's do some high circles. Forwards. 10, 9, 8, ouch, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The other way, just for 10. We can do this. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, let it down. Give it a little tap if you need it. That was definitely burning towards the end. And then let's just roll onto our front and work the glutes a bit more. Okay, so we're going to rest our head on a pillow that we make with our own hands. Forehead rest. Let the legs relax for a second and just breathe, okay? Just notice where you're feeling a little bit achy. Breathe into it. Just take a big inhale and then exhale, let it go. Okay, we're going to stretch our legs back as long as they can be. Our kneecaps lift off the floor. Now we want to keep that length rather than height. So we're just going to now take the feet off the floor. This is not a huge lift off of the floor. And then I want you to try and bring the heels together, take them out wide. Together and back. Go as wide as you like on this one, but make sure the heels touch at every point. Okay, so let's go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now keep the legs stretched back, bring them back to hip distance, and let's kick swim. Kick, kick, kick. Keep both legs super straight, don't bend at the knees, kick from your glutes. Keep it going, nearly there, keep breathing. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax the legs down. Let's just push ourselves back. Have one little quick stretch, just to stretch out the glutes. Rest position. And then we're going to spin our bodies around. Let's do the other side before we forget. So feet forward, bodies back in line with the back of the mat. Hips stacked, gentle activation on both sides of your glutes. Neck is long. Relax the hand here. Top leg lifts and we kick forwards and back. Bottom foot. Where is it? It's glued to the floor, isn't it? Arm lifted if you want more. So it's just going to give you that little brace as you take the leg forward. You're going to feel it in your abs. As you stop any swaying of your torso with those strong core muscles. Breathe however you need to breathe here, but just keep solid. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Leg comes back, bottom leg stays where it is. We just lift up and down. So you can keep your arm here, or if you just want to rest it down for a little while, if it's tired or starting to go numb, blood's dropping out. Okay, so you can go as high as you want with these lifts, but keep that waist nice and strong. Underneath side waist is also lifted. I always find it helps on the exhale and the lift. That might be just a personal thing. Stops me thinking about that. Nice warm sensation that's currently building on the outside of my right hip. Oh, I've lost count now. How many more is that? 2, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we have circles. Oh, not quite so high on this leg. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We go the other way. Stop there. Okay, push down on the foot that's on the mat. 8 more. 7, 6. Big inhale will help. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let the leg come down. Give it a tap. Felt that a lot on that leg. Oh, it's not my favorite leg today. Okay, come onto your front again. And then we're going to just do a little bit of upper back now. So we're going to leave the legs and the glutes for a little while. You'll be pleased to know. Give them a little well-deserved rest. Okay, so we're going to imagine that we've got a resistance band in between our hands. So our hands are going to reach out a little bit wider than shoulder distance. And just relax your forehead down onto the mat for now. Okay, we're going to take a big inhale. Exhale all the air away. And then one more inhale, I'm going to lift the arms up. Now I want you to imagine that you have a resistance band in your left hand and you're going to pull the right arm down, fighting against that imaginary resistance all the way down to the hip, and then it just springs back up. Let's do the same on the other side. So pull, 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 pull. Your body doesn't move, it's just your hand and your arm, and then all the way back up. Okay, let's pull down. So you're still looking down at the floor. I know it's not too exciting, but we're keeping the neck safe by doing this. So the easy part is when your arm comes back up, and the hard part, you should feel it in the back of your arms a little bit as you pull down. So I know it sounds silly, but imagining resistance actually does work the muscles. The muscles, they don't actually know if you are pulling against resistance or if you're just thinking about it. So we can fool them. We're almost there. We're going to just do one more each side. And back. And back, and then lower, just for a second, just to recover, just to let the muscles around the base of our shoulder blades and all around our mid back, because they're the ones that we're working, just let them have a little rest. And let's bring our hands just underneath our shoulders. Tuck the elbows in so they're touching the ribs. And then we're just going to lift the upper body, keep the legs relaxed. But first of all, I want you to think about lifting as much as you can without pushing on your hands. So without pushing into your palms, let's just see how far we go. So we're just going to lift and then stop at the point where you can't go any further without putting pressure in your hands to lift, yeah? So we stay there. It's probably going to be on the bottom of your ribs. Then we're going to take the arms out to the side. Then we bring them back and then we lower. So we lift, keep the shoulders back and down, reach out, back and lower. 6 to go. So it's a really strong control move. Shoulders are relaxed, back in the position that they're meant to be. We're going to create some strength in those upper back muscles to hold them in place. 3 to go. Anyone feeling this like I am? 2 more. Middle back is working overtime. Last one. Lift, reach, back and down. Whew, I think we need a little stretch into our back now. So let's lift up onto all fours. Let's go back to the cat-camel stretch. Or cat and cow. Getting my animals mixed up. Lift up, reach, reach, reach. And then let the belly go. My favorite bit. One more each way. So we've really activated these back muscles now. You should really feel them in this stretch. And then back down. And then let's just sit back onto our heels if your knees are okay. If not, stay up a little bit higher. And then let's have a little stretch. So we're going to do the stretch that we did last week. Back hand onto the front hand, interlace fingers, turn and look under your armpit. Oh, breathing heavily now. And then swap over. Hand on top of the hand, turn in the direction of the hand that's on the floor, underneath. And then back to center. And then we're just going to come back to seated to finish, because we're nearly out of time. So a little more shoulder awareness exercise now. This is a really good one to practice in the day so that your shoulders don't get too tight. Now I'm hoping you can see me because the colour's a bit bright. But so the hands are just going to be as if you're holding 2 serving plates. Elbows are close to the body, so right into the ribs. Shoulders relaxed and down, drawn back slightly. And then all we do is just turn the lower part of our arm. So we're turning in the shoulder, but we're not moving our upper arm. So this one we're just going to do 5 or 6 times, just like this. This is such a good exercise to do, guys, every day, just to keep the shoulders in proper alignment. So the elbows are right glued to my ribs right now. They're not coming out. Now, once you've kind of got comfortable with this one, it does take a little bit of time because these muscles can be tight. So it's just a bit of range of movement. Once you've got used to that, do it nice and slowly, then you can progress it. So we're going to get to here, and then we extend the arms out, but we're not coming up high. We're going to keep them low and just stretch them long. Now I can feel this all down the outside of my arms, and that's because my arm muscles are actually quite tight. Bringing the elbows back in. That's from all this working at home and typing like a lunatic. Okay, reach out, typing hundreds of emails, and then back. So it should feel quite nice. Might feel a little bit unusual because we're not really moving in this kind of range very often. But afterwards is when it's going to feel really free, all around the shoulders. The arms should feel less tension. Just one more, all together. Back in, give the shoulders a little roll. Oh, feeling good. Hopefully you enjoyed the class, guys. Nice to see so many people again, as always. Do let me know if you've got any questions or comments. I do have to run off, so I've got a meeting in about 2 minutes, but I can be here for a minute or so just to answer any questions if you have any. Otherwise, see you next week.